Good morning, folks. It is Tuesday morning, October 3rd. Can you believe it's October, Coach?
I'm glad it's October. I love October. I love the fall, but still 85 degrees outside. I think it's going to cool down a little bit here soon, but
I
still
hope
85
so.
Right now.
The weather's giving us a false sense of summer. So.
Yeah.
All right, so it's time for Coach's Corner, and I'm Jason Schanzel. This is with me, as always, Coach Coach Enright. Coach, really good week this past week. Why don't you tell us what happened over at Greenwood?
Man, it was a roller coaster of a ride. So down 21 points and then win by 21. 42-point swing, which is wild in high school football. So
for sure.
We got down early, had a couple coverage mishaps and a couple penalties that kind of set us back a little bit. But broken record, as I've said all year, our seniors didn't let those plays negatively affect the rest of the game. So couldn't be more proud of a group. And then it was 28-7 with 4 minutes left in the half. And somehow we scored 3 touchdowns to tie it up, which was amazing to think that they had the ball with I think 4 minutes and 33 seconds, and they were up 28-7 with the ball on our side of the field, and somehow we scored 3 touchdowns there at the end of the half. Which really, if we just get 1 touchdown, it's 28-14. I mean, it's just tough to come back. So we had a little momentum going into halftime. We kind of regrouped a little bit, made some adjustments. On defense and offense, and the kids just responded, especially in the fourth quarter, man. I just feel like Adam Lane does such a great job, and our kids are so well trained that even our depth, like, it's just apparent. In the fourth quarter, we dominate, and that's because we can play a lot of guys, and they're trained really well. So shout out to Coach Lane and our kids' work ethic, and guys stepping in and stepping up that maybe. Albert Aguirre didn't play the second half. So, we had guys step in, Hunter Harvey and Braden Smith. And so just really proud of the collective group effort, but what a last 4 minutes of the first half that kind of sparked us, and what a fourth quarter. So. Well,
I know watching it, we talked before, I didn't get to really see a broadcast of it, but watching it on your phone, just watching the scores change, it doesn't take somebody that's a football expert or anything to see. I mean, really what it looked like to me was Greenwood ran out of gas, and we didn't. We kept plugging.
Absolutely. At the end of the day,
they were gassed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fourth quarter, we took over and dominated and kind of put a stamp on it. So.
Well, let's talk about who stood out on offense for us.
Offensively, well, first of all, the offensive line. So we rushed 35 times for 423 yards. So that's 13 yards per carry.
Gee whiz.
Over 400 yards rushing, which is very impressive. But the big guys up front just continue to improve. We've got a stable of them now. So we played 7 or 8 guys.
That's awesome.
And typically at this time of year, and I mentioned it earlier, we have guys getting better week 7, week 8.
Yeah.
And that's a testament to the coaches but to our kids. For sometimes you get in a season, it's week 7 and 8, and you haven't played a varsity snap yet. And so you kind of take a step back in practice and kind of like, okay, these are the starters. I'm not going to compete hard, but these kids compete
That's awesome.
Every single day in practice. As scouts, they go hard, and then when they get their chance to get varsity reps, because we got guys banged up, they step in and play hard. So, I think offensive line-wise, we have more depth than we've ever had, which is a good thing moving forward, and we're getting a guy back this week in Caden Cole. So we're going to tinker with the line a little bit, but we have 8 guys that are varsity ready and ready to go, so that's good. So the offensive line stood out to me, and then we had really 3 amazing performances by skill guys. Bo Polston threw for 200 yards and 4 touchdowns, rushed for 50. 250 yards from your quarterback and 4 TDs is impressive. Not to be outdone by Casey Berry, who, for the first time, I think, since Tyrone Tracy, he rushed for 100 yards and caught for 100 yards.
Wow!
So that's a rare duo in
high
school football, to be able to rush
in any football.
Yeah, and he rushed for 123 yards on 6 carries.
Wow! Oh my gosh!
Yeah, and then he had, I think, 3 catches for 100 yards. So he only touched the ball 9 times, but had 243 yards.
Gee whiz!
And scored 2 touchdowns, and then Dodo continues to impress. He's really sparked us. Put the team on his back there, as he said in his interview. But he had the 85-yard run when we were down 28-7 that just kind of jump-started the offense a little bit. and got us going. But he scored 4 touchdowns on 13 touches. So
Wow.
9 offensive touchdowns, by far our best performance, 625 yards. Really good performance offensively. But that all starts up front, like I said, with the offensive line. And then Chris Richmond and Brado outside. Like we talk about all the time, like the line can block for guys, but when our skill guys are getting after it and nasty on the outside and springing long touchdown runs, that's when you know you got a good offense. And Brado and Chris really stood out as being just nasty blockers on the outside that sprung some of those 20-yard runs into 40 and 50-yard runs. So
for sure.
Really proud of the offensive group collectively. Just did a great job and probably our best performance of the year. No doubt.
Yeah, especially with the point output and the amount of yards. I mean, that's insane. That's like, video game numbers.
It was, and that's always fun to see.
No doubt. So let's go on the other side of the ball. Talk about who stood out on defense for you.
So there were 15 touchdowns in the game and 105 points. So defensively, Coach Gooden and the defense will say that they didn't play very well, but they did make a lot of big plays, especially down the stretch. And so some guys that stood out. Albert had a great first half, but his ankle was really bothering him. So Steve-O had to step up a little bit as the lone senior inside linebacker. And we plugged in Braden Smith for Albert, and Braden did a great job of just being physical and doing what he does well, which is fly around with his hair on fire and just hit people. So proud of him. But Steve-O had 14 tackles, which is a big number. I think the second most to Albert. Maybe had 21 one game, but Steve-O stepped up and had 14 tackles. We had MJ Campbell had 7 tackles and a tackle for loss. Shanks again had a sack, 2 tackles for loss, and 6 tackles. And then in the back end, Kaz continues to do a great job on one side of the field, and we mixed in some zone and some man, and we're trying to do some different things in the back end, and we had a couple blunders, but those guys corrected it at halftime, and Elijah Trammell will tell you he didn't play a great first half, but he stayed with it. Coaches stayed with him, and he came in I think it was the fourth quarter and got an interception. So just a testament to him to not get down on himself, and coaches and players not getting down on him. So I was proud of him, and even Chris Richmond stepped in and played some corner himself, along with Braylon. Bonawit had another great game. He had 5 tackles. He had a sack. Tackle for loss. He had a forced fumble that Aaron Davis recovered. So we got 3 turnovers if you count the blocked punt by Mykul. So we're +1 in the turnover margin, and we have kind of a chart that we show the kids after each game, like +1, +2, +3, and your win percentage. And when you're +1, you're 70% chance to win. So
sure.
We got more turnovers than they took from us, and that's a testament to our defense kind of rallying around each other. We in that high scoring of a game, we pitched a shutout in the fourth quarter. So they didn't score in the fourth, and we scored 3 times, and kind of all she wrote. But so proud of those guys for being resilient and not pointing fingers and pointing the thumb and getting better as the game went on.
Well, and I think the theme I'm hearing from you is we just have a big group of coachable kids.
100%.
I mean, just gleaning little things you're saying here and there is it's like, didn't play so well in the first half, but took coaching and went out and demonstrated what we conveyed to them they need to do, and then went out and executed that.
Absolutely, and I think it starts with our off-season work and our approach with a something to prove mentality. A lot of people don't kind of realize this, but the something to prove wasn't on the football field.
Yeah.
It was to prove that you're a good young man, you're a good student, and then third was a good football player. So grades came out yesterday, report cards 9 weeks, and we had by far the best grades we've had.
That's awesome.
Here at Decatur Central, I think we had 29 kids on the A or AB honor roll.
That's huge.
8 guys with straight A's. We had another group of about 10 that had all A's and B's, but maybe messed up and had a C in one class. So really close to having 35 to 40 guys on the AB honor roll, which is
that's massive.
It's a testament to being coachable and doing the little things and doing what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it in the school building, and all those things kind of translate to the bigger picture of the football field when you do the little things all the time. So just really proud of this group. It's a great group. They compete everywhere, not just on the football field. I think that's big. They compete in the weight room. They compete in the classroom. They have goals. They want to go play college football, and they know they have to be students first and do all those things. So really proud of those guys. But
well, let's switch to the final final head of the three-headed monster are special teams. How about special teams?
Special teams was great again. Awesome. I mean, continue to be the factor that kind of – there's always a big play or two from our special teams, and really we've limited the other teams. They haven't really made any big plays versus us in special teams. So I don't know – don't really track this very much, but Blaine sent me the stat that Ashton kicked the ball 22 times on Friday.
Oh my.
And that seems like a lot.
Yeah.
He was 9 for 9 on extra points.
Wow.
He kicked off 10 times and then punted 3 times. So 22 times he kicked, and most of the time when he's kicking the ball, good things happen. So
I agree.
He had 6 touchbacks. Their average starting field position was the 21-yard line in 10 drives. So, 10 drives, you've got to drive the ball 79, 80 yards for a high school offense. That's tough to do. So, again, those hidden yardage. And then right before the half, first of all, they went for it on 4th down, and we stopped them and scored. And then the next time they didn't. They were smarter than that and punted, and then Mykul blocked the punt and almost returned it for a touchdown, returned it to the 9 with under a minute left, and we scored again. So, complimentary football, getting a 4th down stop on D, getting a block kick, and then scoring right away really set the stage for the second half. But special teams just continues to be a weapon for us because kids buy in and they want to make plays anywhere they can, and that to me, that's a testament to your depth. Like guys who are right there, they're close to being on the field as an offensive or defensive starter, find their way onto the field on special teams. Bryce Johnson, Landon Hazelwood, Braden Smith, guys like that continue to make plays on special teams, and they're really close to making those plays, on offense and defense too. So just really proud of the collective group and the effort of all those guys on special teams.
Right. Well, and we even talk about, like how many teams in Indiana high school football can't use their special teams in that way. They, it's very difficult to score. I mean, we know, from watching football for years and years, how special a kick return or a punt return or 49-yard field goal or just those kind of things are, and how rare for a high school kid to have that many kick or touchbacks.
It's
amazing. I mean, that's huge.
And I don't want to take it for granted, because he works on it, and the kickoffs are one thing, but he also punts and works on his punts, and Troy Van stepping in and being a good snapper. Like, it takes so many different pieces to the puzzle, and Ashton will tell you that. It's not just Ashton now. He's a special talent and a great player, but it takes all the guys around you that do the little 100%. Things as well. And so, just a great – it feels good going into a game, like knowing that third phase that we've got a chance to break the game open with a kick return by, Kaz or Dodo or Chris or Casey. We put really good guys back there to return it, and Brado on punt returns. But just having so many guys buy in and love special teams, and it helps. Like I think everybody knows how good Vogel is, so they want to be a part of special teams, which always, what came first. But regardless, Blaine Gardner does a great job, and our kids buy in, and so it's exciting to have great special teams for sure.
Well, folks, we're going to take a short break, and we're going to meet 3 players from our defensive squad. Really excited to talk to these guys. Think they're the future of our program. Well, maybe not MJ, but the other 2 guys are the future of our program.
Mykul and Braylon. Excited to get those guys to talk to you.
So we'll come back here in a little bit, and we'll catch you up on the Perry Meridian Falcons and our opponent next Friday. All right, folks, welcome back. I'm here with 3 standout Hawks players, with Mykul Campbell, Braylon Morris, and MJ Campbell, all standout defenders for your Hawks. So we're going to get to know these guys here and ask them a few questions. How are we doing this morning, fellas?
I'm doing good.
Good. It's bright and early for these guys, so we like to ask them and wake them up a little bit. So first question I have for you is, what's your favorite position to play on the football field and why? What do you think, Mykul?
I'll probably play, probably that king position because I like the blitz a lot.
All right, so good deal. How about you, Braylon?
I like playing DB, corner or safety. It's like competitive one-on-one. I like it.
All right, good deal. MJ?
Probably edge rusher because I can come off the edge and hit the quarterback a lot.
So it sounds like these guys like to hit a lot, is what I'm hearing. So, all right, what's your favorite all-time NFL football player? That's a pretty good question.
I got one.
Russell Wilson.
All right.
Richard Sherman.
That's tough. Probably Khalil Mack or Adrian Peterson.
All
because
right.
when I played running back, that was my
Nice.
And Marshall Lynch.
All right, MJ, we'll start with you on this one. Who's the best athlete in your family?
Best athlete. I feel like I'm the best. I'm the most athletic, but athlete, like player for player, like play positions most. I would give it to Mykul.
How about you, Brent?
Me.
Of course. All right, man. So obviously you're his brother, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think? You think you're a better athlete? Gonna give it to somebody else?
No, I'm a better athlete. I'm the best. Cause like I can play everything on the field. I'm a better athlete.
No, that's. I feel like that's pretty humble of you guys. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
I'll give it to Mykul.
All righty, Mykul. What's your favorite home cooked meal?
Chicken and waffles.
Very good. I like that. That was an instantaneous. How about you, Braylon?
That'd be nachos.
All right.
Yeah, nachos. Okay. Like
All right.
salad. Yeah, had to be.
MJ, what do you think, buddy?
Probably I like shepherd's pie or liver and rice.
All right, man. These are good answers. I like that. All right, MJ, what's your favorite lift, clean, bench, or squat?
Well, probably bench press. I'm the most. That's my strongest lift.
You like pushing that?
Yeah.
I could not bench press.
We know we eliminated one for you, Braylon. What do you think, buddy?
I
How
like squat more.
All right.
That's my biggest numbers.
about you, Mike?
Clean all day.
All right, so one of each. So at least we're well rounded up here. Mykul, what's your favorite movie?
Ride along.
Oh, nice.
There you go. Go ahead. 'Cause I don't
Oh, we're gonna skip Braylon.
I got two. My favorite cartoon movie is probably like Ratatouille,
All right,
and then my favorite movie is probably Home Alone. Like
Okay.
Home Alone.
Braylon, nothing.
I don't got no favorite.
He's
movie, to be
he's
honest.
not a movie guy.
I got
All
a
right,
favorite TV show though.
all right. What's that? Go ahead. We'll take that.
God, All American.
All right. All right.
All American.
All right, this is a very important question. What's your favorite artist or singer?
Oh.
MJ.
Probably Rod Wave.
Oh my God. Rod Wave.
Raleigh.
All right, so we got some Rod Wave fans up here. All right. Let's see. Mykul, when you have any free time, what do you like to do? When you could just do whatever you want?
I used to play Fortnite and play Warzone.
All right. Braylon, you on board with
I
that?
play with him.
I stopped playing the game because they try too hard on the game. So I like to draw.
Oh, that's
at
cool.
times.
All right, so we got a couple Fortnite players and one artist over here. So, all right, MJ, who is best at Madden between you and Braylon and Mykul?
Mykul.
Michael's the Madden king. Braylon, you agree with
Mykul.
that? Michael, so I'm going to assume you say yourself.
Yeah, I bet. I used to study Madden.
All right, so last question. We'll start with Mykul. If you were stuck on a desert island, what item would you have to have?
Food, water, and a router.
All right, food, water, and a router because he want to get internet on his
Yeah.
island. All right, how about you, Braylon?
A fat tent and some water and some food.
All right, how about you,
Probably
MJ?
some water, some food, and a compass.
All right, all right. So pretty good answers, guys. Well, hopefully this gives you a little bit of an idea of what these guys like to do and what they're about. Man, we hope you guys come out Friday. Big game Friday against the Falcons of Perry Meridian. Looking forward to a great game. Looking forward to a big crowd to support these guys. Thank you guys so much for your time this morning. Really appreciate you getting up and coming out and doing this for us.
Thank you for having us.
All right, good luck, fellas.
Thank you.
Go Hawks. All right, folks, we are back again with Coach Kyle Enright, and we're going to talk about our opponent coming up, a very well-known opponent in the Perry Meridian Falcons. Coach, what are you looking forward to Friday night?
Well, as Coach Gooden said, they're the only Indianapolis city team that we play. They make the makeup of their team is very similar to the makeup of our team. They've played some tough opponents. It's Franklin Central stands out to me week one. Franklin Central is a very good HCC team with a lot of good players, and Perry played them tight, close, physical. Just turning on the film, I feel like they're the most physical team that we're going to see all year. They fly around, they hit people. And I know the head coach really well. They're a rival, next door neighbor school. Coach Cooper does a great job. I think this is his fourth year there, and they've gotten better every single year, which is kind of a testament to him and his staff. But we know it's going to be a battle. They've got a really good running back and linebacker, nose, and just some good athletes on the field that are well coached, and it's going to be a bloodbath. I mean, they get in I formation and have a tight end and a fullback and want to run it down your throat. So we know it's going to be a 12-round fight, and we're prepared for that. We just got to, try to hit body shots and get to that fourth quarter where we've been dominant. But we're excited not only because it's it's another game and it's another opportunity on Friday night, but we're going to do senior night this week.
Nice.
Yeah, we wanted to do it week 8 just to get it so it's not during fall break.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we don't have as many fans during fall
For sure.
break, and we want to give our seniors the opportunity to be in front of more fans. And so really excited for that group of 19 kids. They've kind of spearheaded, a little bit last year. We were down a little bit, and we needed leadership to step up in the off season, and these guys have really taken ownership in that leadership and done a great job. So just to honor them and have their siblings and family walk down the track is just it's very meaningful and special to those families, because football is a lot of hard work, and it culminates with senior night, and you just love to see the smiles and the tears and those guys walking down the track and then getting loved up by their teammates as they walk through the tunnel in there for the last time on senior night. So just excited for that and just to see how they go out and respond on their senior night, because you want to make memories, and you want those memories on senior night to be good. So I'm sure they're going to come out and ready to play.
Yeah, and and we talked about maybe 4 or 5 years ago, you could go down the schedule and circle a couple games and go, this is a gimme, this is a gimme. And our conference is so good now that there's no such thing anymore. You're not going to have a night where you just show up and play and you win. You have to prepare. You have to understand tendencies, and you have to be where you're supposed to be doing the right thing all the time anymore. And there's just no such thing as a gimme.
No doubt. We wouldn't want it any other way.
Yeah.
Very competitive. It gets you ready for the playoffs. And it used to be you could circle some games, like you said, especially towards the end of the season where you pretty much knew the result and what that was going to be. So I'm just glad that the conference and the coaches in the conference have done what they've done to get better and compete, and everybody's good. Everybody's got good players and coaches, so it's going to be fun. I mean, and it's right down the road. I lived in Perry Township for a little while, and you lived in Perry Township.
For sure.
So know a lot of people over there, and it's kind of a rivalry type game. So excited for it. Just excited for the seniors to go out and win on senior night. So
all right, folks. So that about does it for us today. Again, this coming Friday, Decatur Central versus Perry Meridian here at the DeVere Fair Stadium.
Camo night.
There you go. Camo night.
Camo gear. And
excellent.
Support the seniors and come on out.
All right, let's get us a W on senior night, Coach. Good luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, go Hawks.